Hello, dear students. Welcome back to another important and interesting session where we are going to talk about an extract from the Diary of Anne Frank taken from a very popular book, The Diary of a Young Girl, written by Anne Frank. So let's get started. Anne Frank was a German Jew. The 12-year-old Jewish girl wrote the Diary of Anne Frank while in hiding with her family and four friends in Amsterdam during the Nazis' occupation of the Netherlands in World War II. After 2 years in hiding, the group was betrayed and transported to a concentration camp in Bergen, where Anne and her elder sister Margot died of typhus in 1945. Her father, Otto Frank, the only survivor of the group, found her diary and got it published in English under the name The Diary of a Young Girl. Let's have a look at the theme of the story. The Diary of Anne Frank and the given extract is one of the most authentic works describing the atrocities committed on the Jews during the Nazis' occupation of the Netherlands in 1940s. It also provides an intimate account of daily life that her small groups led in hiding in Amsterdam. Her frankness, honesty, and sincerity of description of her parents, friends, and teachers make her writing the most important document of the Holocaust period. Let's have a look at the plot. The story is based on a young girl's diary. Anne is a Jewish girl who has to go into hiding during World War II to avoid the Nazis. She shared her experience in the diary when she was depressed. Together with 7 others, she hides in the secret annex in Amsterdam. She doesn't have any close friend. After almost 2 years in hiding, they are discovered and deported to concentration camps. Let's have a look at the title. The title of this world-renowned literary piece is simple and straightforward, without any hidden meaning. It's a diary which Anne Frank wrote in the concentration camp to which she was sent along with her sister in Holland. The diary chronicles Anne's experiences in Hitler's concentration camp from 12th June 1942 to 1st August 1944. Her father, Otto Frank, who survived the concentration camp, decided to fulfill his daughter's wish and published her diary, which recounted her experiences in the concentration camp, and we all know the popularity which this book gained. It received worldwide acclaim and is well received by critics. Diary writing, a short, strange experience. Anne Frank thinks that writing a diary is a strange experience for her. She has never written anything like this before. She feels that no one else, except her, will be interested in the musings of 13-year-old schoolgirl. She writes it for herself. She wants to get all kinds of things off her chest. It means she had a number of things within and she wanted someone with whom she could share the things. So finally she found the diary. Paper has more patience than people. Yes, it's true. Anne feels that paper has more patience than people. There was a time when she was a little depressed and sat at home. She doesn't want anyone else, except her, to read her stiff-backed notebook unless she finds a real friend. She keeps her diary as she doesn't have a friend. Her diary, her friend Kitty. Anne writes that outwardly there are about 30 people whom she can call friends. She has a family, loving aunts, and a good home. She has a loving parent and 16-year-old sister. But still, she feels all alone. She can only talk about ordinary things with them. They are not able to come closer. This is the problem. They can't confide in each other. Maybe it is her own fault. This is why she has started the diary. She wants a diary to be her friend. She calls a diary her friend Kitty. She calls her father the most adorable father. He married at 36 when her mother was 25. Her sister was born in 1926 while she was born on 12th June 1929. They emigrated to Holland in 1933. She got her education there. In 1942, her grandma died and started writing her diary on 20th June 1942. Class shaking with fear. The entire class is shaking with fear. The teachers will decide in the next meeting who will move up and who will be kept back. She realizes that at least there are about a quarter of students who are totally worthless and should be kept back. But it is difficult to predict about the decision of the teachers. She is not much worried about herself and her girlfriends. She is not very sure about maths. She has good relations with her teachers. Mr. Keyzing, the maths teacher, is an old-fashioned teacher. He doesn't like her because she talks too much. The maths teacher gives her some extra work to write an essay on a chatterbox. She writes 3 pages. She argues in the essay that talking is a student's trait. She promises to keep it under control. She feels that she will never be to cure herself of the habit. Her mother also talked as much as she does. It's an inherited trait. Mr. Keyzing has a good laugh at her arguments in the essay. He assigns her a second essay on an incorrigible chatterbox. Finally, as punishment for talking in the class, he gives her another essay on quack, 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 said Mistress Chatterbox. So it was the third essay. The class gives a roar of laughter. Her friend Sani is good at poetry. She offers to help her. And he wants to turn the table on Mr. Keyzing. She finishes the poem about a mother duck and a father swan with 3 baby ducklings. They are beaten to death by the father because they quack too much. Mr. Keyzing understands the poem and its message in the right way. Since then, she has been allowed to talk. She has not been assigned with any extra homework. Let's have a look at the character sketch of Anne. She was a very sensitive, sharp, and a mature girl of 13. Being a Jew, she was constantly hounded by the Nazis. She was living in terrible times. Born in Germany, she and her family had to migrate to Amsterdam to escape persecution. She felt utterly lonely and could not confide in others. She needed a true friend before whom she could open out her heart and share her innermost feelings. She found a true friend in Kitty, her diary. She was very emotional. She loved her grandmother very much. She was a chatterbox and annoyed her maths teacher, Mr. Keyzing, as she talked too much in the class, but her joke pleased him very much. Now, after talking about Anne Frank, let's talk about Mr. Keyzing, who was an old-fashioned teacher of maths in Anne Frank's school. He was rather strict with his students and did not allow much talking in the class. Ultimately, he assigned Anne to write an essay on a chatterbox. The essay gave the right message to Mr. Keyzing. By chance, the joke fell on him. He was a transformed man now, and he allowed Anne talking and never assigned her any extra homework again. Let's have a look at the values that come out of this chapter. An optimistic approach and ready wits can help you in times of trouble. A unique relation between a teacher and a student. In Anne Frank's words, in spite of everything, I still believe that people are really good at heart. If you look at the message, the extract has no message as such, as it is a chronicle of one day. June 20th, 1942, in the life of Anne Frank. The diary was given to her on her 13th birthday and chronicles the events of her life from 12th June 1942 to 1st August 1944. Though we can understand the importance of diary writing through this extract. So that was all about the chapter from the diary of Anne Frank. I hope you all understood it well. So do read the text and clear all your doubts. Thank you so much for watching this video. Bye-bye.